A subscriber recently asked me to play Maniac Mansion. Now, I'll be honest, I had never even heard of this game before that comment, but that's one of the things I love about taking viewer suggestions. Sometimes they introduce you to games you might have completely missed. And if this wasn't a good game, I wouldn't be making it my very first full-length review here on Good Day Geektopia. Maniac Mansion was originally released in 1987 for PC before making its way to the NES in 1990. At first glance, it looks like a simple adventure game, but after spending time with it, I quickly realized there was a lot more going on than I expected. What surprised me most wasn't the story or the graphics, it was just how much freedom the game gives you. Within the first few seconds, you're given one small hint. The key might be under the doormat. You pull back the mat, grab the key, and from that point on, the game simply says, right, off you go. There's no hand-holding, no objective markers, and very little guidance. And honestly, for an NES game, the amount of freedom Maniac Mansion gives you is honestly incredible. Most games from this era have a fairly clear path to follow, but this one encourages you to experiment right from the start. Apart from that first hint about the key under the doormat, you're given very little guidance. Instead, you're expected to explore the mansion, interact with just about everything you can, and slowly piece together how everything works. I'll admit, I got myself stuck more than once. In fact, I replayed the game several times because I'd unknowingly put myself in situations where I couldn't progress anymore. Normally, that would frustrate me, but here it just made me want to start over and try a different approach. That's really the trade-off with giving players this much freedom. The game rarely tells you if you're making the right decision, but when something finally clicks, it's incredibly satisfying. Before long, I wasn't just trying to rescue Sandy anymore, I was opening every door, pushing every object, pulling anything that looked suspicious, and seeing what happened. One of the first things you'll notice is the way you interact with the world. Maniac Mansion didn't invent the point-and-click adventure genre, but it certainly helped define it. Instead of having to type commands like in some of the older PC adventure games, you're given a list of actions at the bottom of the screen. Things like open, push, pull, use, get. It's a simple system, but it works really well. If you want to move the doormat, you simply select pull and then click on the mat. Once the key is revealed, you select get and click on the key to pick it up. Before long, using the verb system becomes second nature. Before entering the mansion, you also get to choose 2 friends to accompany Dave on the adventure. Each character has their own unique skills, which means your choices can affect how you solve certain puzzles. For my playthrough, I chose Razor and Bernard, and they served me well. Something I also appreciated was that there isn't any combat. Your goal isn't to defeat the mansion's residents, it's to outsmart them. If they catch you, you'll usually find yourself locked away in the dungeon, so avoiding them becomes just as important as solving the puzzles. Looking back, I think that was the moment I realized this wasn't just another NES game. It wanted me to slow down, pay attention to my surroundings, and think before acting.
Take this for example. In one room, there's a key sitting on top of a chandelier. Why is there a key on a chandelier? Well, we don't ask questions because we might get answers. The game gives you absolutely no clue how to get it, so you start exploring. Eventually, I found a hidden panel in the library containing a blank cassette tape. Later, I came across a record player with a built-in cassette recorder, but the only record in that room was broken. After searching the mansion even more, I eventually found another record, took it back, and recorded the music onto the cassette tape. Then I carried that cassette all the way back to the room with the chandelier, put it into the cassette player, and suddenly the key became reachable. Moments like that are what make Maniac Mansion so memorable. The solution isn't difficult because it requires lightning-fast reflexes. It's difficult because it asks you to connect clues that are scattered all over the mansion. It constantly rewards curiosity. Every room, every cupboard, every strange object could be the piece you're missing. Sometimes I'd pick something up and have absolutely no idea what it was for, only to discover its purpose 20 minutes later. That's when the name really clicked for me. It stopped feeling like I was solving individual puzzles and started feeling like I was unraveling one giant mystery, one clue at a time. After several playthroughs, I finally reached my first ending, and let's just say it didn't exactly go according to plan.
Earlier in the game, I'd found a man standing in a shower. At the time, I honestly thought he was just stuck. So when I later discovered a water valve elsewhere in the mansion, my brain immediately made the connection. Perfect, I thought. I'll turn the water back on so the poor guy can finish his shower. As it turns out, that probably combined with turning the circuit breaker off earlier was a terrible idea. Alarms started blaring throughout the mansion. Everything descended into chaos, and before I knew it, the entire mansion exploded. I hadn't rescued Sandy, I hadn't stopped Dr. Fred, and I was left staring at one of the bad endings, wondering what on earth I'd done. You know what though? I wasn't disappointed. If anything, it made me want to jump straight back in and see what I'd missed. There are multiple endings depending on the choices you make and the characters you bring with you, so even after finishing the game once, I immediately wanted another go. And to me, that's probably the biggest compliment I can give Maniac Mansion. Even after failing spectacularly, I couldn't wait to go back into that mansion and try again.